What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. So today we're going to be working on getting the front end of the LBZ back together here. These next few weeks are really going to be a crunch for me. I plan on going to Daytona, and that's only within, I believe, 5-6 weeks away. And I need to get a gooseneck trailer here soon, within the next couple of weeks, to haul my 2020 down there. I plan on doing it with the LBZ. Now, I just want to make sure everything on this truck's 100% before I start going 1,000 miles one way with it. That starts with the front end. I need to get the alignment done, and I couldn't with the way the front end was, so we're working on that. Hopefully within the next couple weeks here, we'll change transmission fluid. I already got the oil and fuel filter changed, but I just want to make sure this truck's 100% before we go down there so I don't run into any issues, especially since this truck has almost 400,000 miles on it and is going to be pushing its limits of its towing capacity, hauling my 20 down with the trailer and everything of that sorts. And yeah, the 20 needs to get back together here soon, so hopefully within the next couple weeks we get the mirrors thrown back on, my injectors put back in, and it should be ready to roll for Daytona. But enough talking about that. Let's go ahead and dive in here, getting the front end back together. It's going to be a little bit of a project, especially getting the steering shaft bearing out the upper one underneath the dash. I was watching a little bit of stuff online, and it looks like that's going to be a pain. I may have to take the gas pedal out, but we'll see when that time comes. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into this project. Alright, so now that we got a new idler arm and idler arm bracket here, I just want to show you guys again how much plays in this one. I can even spin this whole thing. All that play. As you can see, the new one, there's zero play in there as it should be. So we already got the idler arm installed onto the bracket. Just took the impact, blasted this bolt on here, and then just got as tight as I can by hand. I tried to look for some torque specs, couldn't find much, so I'm just going to really tighten it up just so I don't have any issues. And now that this is on here, we'll go ahead, get this installed back on this side, get this side wrapped up, then we'll move over here to the driver's side. Then we'll talk about something I discovered with the power steering lines that's kind of annoying, but it has to get done, but we'll just go over it a little bit here in a couple minutes. Diving into the power steering lines here, which I wanted to talk about. As you can see, these are a little bit older. They have 400,000 miles on them, so they're leaking a little bit. You can see all the dirt and crud on them. I'd wipe them down, they'd come right back. As you can see where they're leaking, it's all covered in fluid. I just wanted to get these replaced just so I don't run any leaks or issues. I mean, I already have it all the way apart. Now, the crazy part is, as you can see, these longer ones, they have fittings on both sides. These are like $30 a piece. This little one right here, if I get it out of here, this little one was $102 for the smallest line that just has a hose clamp on the other side. I tried looking online, couldn't find anything cheaper. Advanced Auto Parts, Napa, AutoZone, they're all the same price. So I figured, you know what, let's go ahead, we'll just replace it, we'll pay the money, but it's kind of annoying that these two longer ones are $60 total, and then this little one here is $102, but you gotta do what you gotta do sometimes, and I just wanted us to be right. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and hook up all the other lines here, and we'll get the truck back together, and hopefully we'll be able to get it aligned today. The weird part is they give you new bolts for the idler arm, but I'm probably just going to reuse the old ones. They didn't give new bolts, and these don't want to thread on there the best, so I'm just going to go ahead and reuse the factory ones. Now, like I said, I kind of just lined this up on the floor, placed it down, got this all tightened up. I'm going to take this off here in a minute. But we also got a new cotter pin and everything like that, so we're in good shape here. So we got the new steering box on here. You have to find the center, make sure this is centered. So you got to take the shaft, turn it. It was 3.5 rotations one way, so we went back and marked it all up so this is straight. It's just so when you turn the steering wheel, it doesn't turn more to one side than the other side. So now that we got all this on, we're going to go ahead and throw it back in the truck, get the steering gear bolted up, and then we'll go ahead after that and replace the steering shaft from the steering wheel down to the upper steering shaft. So we got the new steering gear put in, power steering lines hooked back up. Now we're just working on the upper steering shaft. We got that pulled out. There's a dust cover with 3 10mm bolts. Got those pulled. And we got the steering bearing pulled, as you can see. It looks like this was replaced at one point because I believe the factory one's white, but this is still a little bit worn out. We're going to go ahead here now, get this thrown in back in the truck. Get the steering shaft pulled out, then we'll go about bleeding out all the old fluid here. The new bearing put in, that was really a pain in the butt to get slid up in there. What I ended up doing was pulling the gas pedal out, and then that gave me all the range, put my hand up there, push it up on, and get it fully seated. There is no room to work with that pedal there, and there's a couple different options, but I discovered that was going to be the easiest. So now that we got the bearing on, let's go ahead and get the upper steering shaft slid through the firewall, then hooked up to the lower steering shaft. Now that we got everything put back together, I took a tire off the back, which is not as clapped, but That one I was on here is pretty junked. I'm gonna need 4 new tires as it is. But we're gonna take some 3/8 line here, hook it up here to the return from the power steering, and we'll bleed out all the old fluid. You don't have to do this. I just want to go ahead and do it because I have a new steering gearbox in here. I don't want to run into any issues. Like I said, I just want to make sure it's right. So we're going to pull this line off here, hook the 3/8 line up to that. I have a little jar there, as you can see. We'll go in the truck, start it. We'll hit the brakes, turn the line, or turn the wheel a little bit. Hopefully all that old fluid will come out. When fluid starts getting clear, we'll go ahead, top off with new fluid, just so there's all new fluid in the system. Alright, so we got most of the old fluid out. As you can see how black it is. I imagine it's not going to come 100% clean because I bet the inside of this pump is just covered in rust and it's always going to be black. But we got a good amount of it out. The lines were empty as it was from being all new power steering lines, as you can see. Now you have to check this fluid when it's hot. We'll check that when we drop it off the alignment shop, and hopefully they can go ahead and align this truck now, and I won't run into any issues. I hope I got the steering shaft and everything straight, but we'll see when that time comes. When I pick it back up, hopefully it tracks straight. But without further ado, let's go ahead and start it up, check for leaks, and then we'll head up to get it aligned. So now that we got the truck aligned, I want to show you guys. Before, I used to be able to go like this and the truck wouldn't even move. As you can see, it moves a lot more now. So basically, there's no play in this. Anytime you turn the wheel like this, it moves the truck accordingly, which is nice. It makes driving the truck a lot better now. Before, it's kind of annoying that you have to counter correct your steering wheel all the time and all that slop, and it's probably really unsafe as well. So I'm glad I got that taken care of. And yeah, the truck just drives a million times better now. Alright, so that's about it for this video, guys. We just got back from the alignment shop. This truck drives and tracks a million times better now. Before, it used to be a lot of bump steering because like you'd be turning the wheel like this, and all of a sudden sometimes you have to turn a little bit more just because there's so much play and everything. But they're able to align it no problem. All the slop is gone from all the new parts we put on, all the steering shafts, the bearings, the pitman arm, the idle arms, the steering gear. So basically the front end on this truck is basically built now. The only thing I didn't do was the tie rod or upper control arms because they said those were fine. And I'm not going to start spending money on stuff I don't need to, especially a truck with this type of mileage. Now, what they recommended me doing was bringing it back in when I got new tires, which I was going to do anyways, just because when you align it, a brand new tire is true and straight. And yeah, we'll just do that when we get the new tires on, and then that completed the front end of the LBZ. So if you guys are new here, be sure to subscribe. If you like what you saw, be sure to leave this video a big thumbs up, and until next time, I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.